Hi, this is Nico from The Authentic Desire and Are You Real Man? And in this video I will explain to you how you can communicate with the silent strong type, which can be a man, which it mostly is, but it can also be a woman. First we have to see what is the reason. Was he silent to other people? Is he just a person that doesn't like to talk that much? Because it's very possible that, well, that is also the reason that you were attracted to him or her, because they can listen. They also tend to be a man of his word or a woman of her word, and you know they speak through their actions, and actions speak much louder than words. Well, that's what I think. So before you start to deal in how you can make him talk, it's important to see your motivations. Why do you want to see him talk more? Because if this is his temperament, if this is his personality, if he is like an introvert and needs time for on himself, enjoys time with himself, well, you cannot change that. That doesn't mean that you can't ask for more, that you can't ask him to take your needs more into account. But it is the difference between asking and demanding. But about that I will say a bit more later. So one of the reasons is, well, very practical, that you want to organize things, how you divide your time, the tasks, the labor. And this can be actually uh, organized much better. You don't have to talk, you don't have to waste for him those precious words out of his mouth. Perhaps you can better just make a proposal, give it to him on paper, and so he can say yes or no. It's very simple, and for him it's much less tiring than having to talk. A second possibility is that, well, you seek for approval. You want to feel that your partner still loves you, that he appreciates you. And so, a lot of women, for a lot of women and a lot of men too, silence feels very painful. It's as if your partner does not want to connect with you. But in their mind, in their feeling, they feel deeply connected. They only just don't need to tell about it, talk about it. They don't have the need to verbalize it. And so when you have a relationship with somebody that rather speaks through their behaviors, it is very important to learn how to see how they express their affection. And it can be by helping you, by providing for you, by hugging you, or wanting to have sex with you. All these things show you that they truly love you, you know. But it might just be that they are not inclined to, well, start to talk about it. The following possibility is that you want him as a leader. In other words, you want him to share his vision about your life together, about his dreams, about how he sees you too. Because you don't want to be just in something that goes nowhere. No, you want to know where you are standing. You want to know that he will not walk out of you the next day. And the chance with these types is very small, but it is important for you, if you have this need to hear what he wants, if you have the need to feel approved, then it is your good right to ask for it. Because it is your need, and that is your right. Because you have a need does not mean that he has to comply. In other words, instead of demanding your partner, instead of attacking him when he doesn't give you what you want, you ask him with respect. In other words, he is free or she is free to do with your question whatever he does. Because just as you are free to express your desire to get more verbal connection, so it is his right to refuse, to not do that. You are not their boss. You are not somebody that can control their behaviors. You can ask to take your needs into account, and if he never does or she never does, well, then it's up to you to decide what you'll do with this. But attacking a person, really pointing the finger, judging them, it will never ever work. Because what will happen is, why? Because when you are upset, you tend to talk more probably. But when your partner is upset, they shut down completely. And then instead of talking over a little while, you can never, ever penetrate the wall because he has built them higher than before. So do not attack. Learn how to get control over your behavior. Learn to stay calm in your communication to your partner without screaming, without insulting, without pointing the finger. So, the last thing is that for a lot of people, me too, they want to feel connected, they want to feel companionship. And for him, it might be very simple that companionship is touching each other, is doing things for each other, is bringing back a bit of chocolates, or whatever is his way to show you that he cares. But again, it's your good right to ask for more verbal affirmation, to more companionship, because you want to know your partner, and you cannot read minds just as he cannot. So try to ask questions, ask open-ended questions, and when he answers, shut the fuck up. Because a lot of women, they start to talk and they want to talk. And so if you just want him to listen, then you can express that. I want you just to listen. I don't want you to give me advice, but I need you to hear me. But if you really want him to talk, then give him the chance to talk. If he is not a big talker, then he will probably need a bit more time to realize, okay, how I'm going to express it. Some people really have to think a long time before they will express something, because for them, they think in silence, and what they say for them is truth. Me, for example, I'm a bit different. I think about, and while talking, I get my realizations. But I had also women who are more the silent type, who express things in a very precise way, and they got very frustrated with me because I'm talking out of my ass until I get the realization. Oh, that's what I mean. But they tended to think about it much longer, and when they spoke, it was deliberate. Okay, so a good tip that I can give you is, like, if you talk to your solid man, that you need talking. You need to know what's going on in his heart and in his mind before you feel connection. And that is for you very important before you want him to touch you sexually. You want to feel connected by words, but if he's really bad in talking, perhaps by just hugging, by sensual connection, by dancing or doing things together, by spending quality time together. Okay, so that's possible. What he also can do is, like, if he really is a bit impaired in his verbal capabilities, which doesn't mean that he's not smart, but he just he can be emotionally stuck, having it very hard to share. This is your task to learn to get what you want through the communication of behaviors. And I said it already in a few videos, when you talk to a man, it's better to let you behave. You do the talking. When he does something that you like, or is a bit more like you like, you reward him with attention, or with what you know he likes. And when he does something you don't like, you ignore him a bit. And every time he does something that is a bit more like you like it, then you reward him. So he gets closer and closer to the behaviors that you would like. And by doing that, it has a positive feedback loop. So what happens is, if you stop attacking, you get in a ratio that research has shown that is incredibly good to get a positive spiral. So if you have a ratio of 3 positive experiences versus 1, or in relationships 5 positive experiences against 1 negative ones, you get a positive cycle where people will feel more relaxed, where relationships will improve, where people will flourish. It's like the flourishing ratio, 5-1 in relationships. And so when you start to communicate with positivity and really appreciating what he's trying to do, because it's hard for him, it's not in his nature, and so every time he shares, every time he opens up, it's very important to let him feel, let him know that you really see how hard it is and that you appreciate his efforts. So and there are a few other causes why your man, outside of his own temperament, has is less inclined to share things, to talk. I mean, some women have a very hard time, and some men too, to let them talk. They want to talk, but they don't want to talk. They don't want to make conversation. They want to talk. They want continuous validation, and so they just need a complaining wall at which she can bounce off other ideas. And so then, if you want to talk to him and you interrupt him all the time, first of all, he will lose track of his ideas, and second of all, and more importantly, you show disrespect by just not allowing him to make his point. Okay. Then the second thing also has to do with respect. If you criticize your partner or if you are very inattentive, disinterested in what he says, then of course, why would he be interested in talking with you if he's always negative? I mean, like, if he likes to talk about fishing and you hate fishing, but you know he loves it and he talks about it with passion, then even if you're not interested in the activity itself, be interested in your man. Be interested in how he can be passionate for something. And be interested. Reward him for talking. Even if it's not a subject that you wonderfully like, it is your man. So if you don't accept him, leave him. But if you want him, if you love him, then learn to accept and learn to be patient. Because when silent men are trying to improve their communication skills, it is a big challenge. And so they will fail and fail. They will try again, they will fail. And the thing is, the secret is reward their efforts. Whether the communication was good or not, it is not really important. What is important is that they are trying, they are doing their best. So be patient and stop the blaming.